You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
And then there were 8. 3 races left to test your fate.
Drag race to the stripe! What a finish.
For some of you, a clean slate. For the rest of you, you're too late.
Uncontested race for Ryan Truex. He's all but one lap here tonight at Darlington to take the race win.
So drive with hate. Don't take the bait. This is ThunderClap. Who gets the championship date?
Welcome to the round of 8 for the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series. Race number 1 here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway on the oval in the trucks. It all comes down to this. You've got 3 races to punch your ticket to get into the championship round of 4 in 3 weeks at Texas. But as for right now, points battle hot and heavy coming into tonight's race. 8 drivers left with a shot at the championship. As we're going to take a look at the standings coming into tonight. Ryan Truex, Greg McConey, Roger DeBold, Thomas Aaron, Mark McCrary, Greg Viel, Steven Sharik, and Ryan Zunk. The only 8 drivers left with a shot at this one. After last week's race at Darlington, Scott Famosa, J.D. Woodward, James Sharik, and Robert Walton all eliminated for the championship, but still have a shot at best of the rest. And the winner of best of the rest will earn a free entry into next season. Round of 8, race 1 at Charlotte. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you for this one, as it's definitely intense already. And we are actually going to reach out now. Let's see what we got here. Well, let's see who we want to talk to tonight moving into this championship round of 8. As let's see who is here. Nope, 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 and nope. And everybody looks to be busy right now, getting the last little bit of practice in before we turn them loose, as Chase Leahy currently sitting atop the pile. Thomas Aaron, J.D. Woodward, Greg McConey, your top 4 as we currently sit. Anthony Burleson rounding out your top 5. Greg Viel, Mark McCrary, Ryan Zunk, Seth Gajdorus, and Scott Famosa rounding out your top 10. Now, as you see the ticker going by, the drivers in yellow are still in contention. And I already count 5 of them in the top 8. So, yeah. Let the good times roll. Steven Sharik currently sitting in 12th. Still with a shot at it here tonight, as we are high above, as practice going on right now. Take a quick look at our weather conditions coming into tonight. 73 degree ambient air temperature, 5% water grain, which means that the dry air, these trucks are going to be making gobs and gobs of horsepower as the sun continues to set here at Charlotte. 76 degree track temperature right now. So it's good to see what's going on so far. There's about 50 seconds left here. We do need to thank our sponsors tonight, TLC Outdoor Lighting and Eagles Wood, for all your engraving needs. As that is going to do it for the hot lap session. Drivers' meeting has already taken place. And we are about to turn them loose for solo qualifying here at Charlotte. 1.5 miles all the way around this tricky shaped track, because you got the 2 dog legs on the front straightaway. They call it the quad oval because, well, there's 2 turns on the front stretch that aren't normally there for other tracks. Full field of drivers here tonight, as let me just do my quick high-powered gazintas. I'm counting 27 haulers in the infield tonight, as there we go, clicking over to qualifying. You see who's going to be one of the first ones to roll it. Looks like Scott Famosa is going to be the first one to roll. There he is in the 80. 2 flying laps of qualifying, and you can see everybody's running max tape on the front of these pieces, as now Famosa is able to come up off the blend line. His teammate Mark McCrary out there as well. There is Mark in the 88. J.D. Woodward out there as well. Alan Marshall, David Hall, Stephen Lachinsky, Steven Sharik out there. Chase Leahy, Ryan Harrison all rolling right now. There we see Steven. Good head of steam for him. Let's check back in with Scott Famosa. As McCrary goes purple. Now Woodward goes purple in the second sector. Chase Leahy laying one down right now. Let's take a look at the 34. Going to be the first one to post a good time. Leahy to the top of the pile. McCrary sits in second. Sharik jumps up to second quick now. David Hall sitting third quick. Goes purple in the second sector. Ryan Harrison and Cole Gajdorus out on track. Ryan Truex driving his favorite Toyota. See what type of time he's going to be able to lay down on his first flyer. Looks like he's just trying to get that truck up to speed right now. As Chase Leahy goes purple in the second sector. Negates the lap, though. Not going to improve on his 30.16. That currently has him sitting atop the pile. Ryan Truex's first lap is going to mark him third quick. Roger DeBold out on track right now. Take a look at what Roger's going to be able to lay down here on his first flyer. Good enough for 12th quick so far. Ryan Truex to the top of the heap with a 30.14. Good grief. That's moving. Still waiting on some names to post times here as we are following the 38 of Roger DeBold. Rocking the fighter paint scheme here tonight. DeBold going to improve to 7th quick. Let's take a look at the 3 of Matt Garrett. There he is in the Yingling number 3. My normal broadcast partners both unable to make it tonight, so currently sitting all by my lonesome up here. Thank you all so much for making us a part of your evening. As we're going to check in with... Ooh, oh my. Seth Gajdorus getting it all wrong there. Looks like he's going to get one flyer in, and this is going to be the only one that's going to count for Seth. Got one lap to get it up to speed, and then he's on the clocks. Greg McConey, Tommy Allen, Bobby Grant, and Justin Clapper all have yet to lay a time down. Greg Viel caught the wall on both of his laps, so no time posted for the 26. McConey out on track right now as well, rocking the Purdue Boilermaker paint scheme on that Ford F-150 here tonight. McConey comes to the line with a good head of steam already. Matt Garrett jumps up to 10th quick. Seth Gajdorus coming around for his one and only flying lap here tonight. Out of turn 4 he goes. Right down to the grass line. Across the stripe for Gajdorus. 13th quick. Checking back in with McConey as he comes out of 4 and into the quad oval portion. McConey's first lap, only good for 18th quick. He's going to have to step on it. Ryan Truex unfortunately caught the wall on both of his flyers, so no time posted for him, no time posted for Greg Viel. As we're going to check back in with McConey here. One of your championship contenders. There he is, currently sitting 18th quick. Second lap, he's going to improve on his time. Does he improve his position? A little bit. 15th quick. So, no bueno at all there. Again, still waiting for Tommy Allen, Justin Clapper, and Bobby Grant all to lay times here tonight. Justin White in race control as always, as that should about do it for the qualifying session. I believe. Don't quote me on that. And if you like what you're seeing here tonight, let us know in the live chat. Thumbs up really does help share these videos around with the YouTube algorithm. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to be shared on someone's homepage when they log into their YouTube account. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of action here on Sim Racing Media, as that needs to be changed. Sorry about that, folks. There we go. So coming up, we've got the triple header for you on Thursday this week. The Svenska iRacing Ligan, as they go to their second round. It's not Daytona, as that was last week. Fired Up Esports, though, is going to be back at Daytona. Sim Racers Edge going to Kentucky. Circle B Diecast will be at Daytona, so that has not been updated. I do need to modify that. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. So let's take that off there. Let's take a quick look at the weather, as we are waiting for the last few to start to roll them. Looks like Justin Clapper out on track right now. And there is Clapper. Track temperature's already come down a couple degrees. Still only 5% water grain under clear skies here tonight. As air density currently sitting at 1,000 feet, which is about normal. It's going to affect the carbureted cars more than anything else. And these trucks are carbureted. Clapper's first lap puts him 19th quick. Let's see what lap number 2 is going to get in store for the Recon 63. Coming through 3 and 4 with a good head of steam. Down off the hill, coming off the banking. A little bit twitchy there. It may have cost him. He does improve to 17th quick. 0.2 quicker than his first lap. So we are still waiting on Tommy Allen to post a time as Bobby Grant starts to roll. There he is in the Mountain Dew number 14 F-150. Grant's one of those quiet drivers that, you know, he stays out of trouble, and the positions just come to him late in the race. Tries to keep that truck in one piece as long as possible. He's very similar driving style to what I like to think I do, where you just try to keep yourself out of trouble, you try to stay out of the way, and don't put your truck in a bad position. And the later in the race, as the fast guys bang the wall or bang into each other, you know, provided you're not caught up in someone else's dumpster fire, you know, you're going to get those spots later in the run. Currently 20th quick for Grant, as he's down towards that blue line. About half a truck width off. Gets the run coming down the back straightaway, as Grant with a good head of steam going into turn number 3. As it is going to improve on lap number 1. Keeps it out of the wall, coming off of 4. Drag to the stripe. Wow. Moves him up to 8th. So good run for Bobby Grant. Tommy Allen Jr., the only one that still has yet to lay a time. And he's going to need to hustle it because we don't have a whole lot of time left. He might have enough time to get one in right now. And he is not even on pit road. So trouble getting through tech for the 24 here tonight. So that is going to do it for qualifying as we're getting ready for the warm-up session. Again, want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chats right now. Speed Kings E-Motorsports checking in. Greg McConey checking in. So, thank you all so much. I see 19 of you currently here. Tell us who you're rooting for tonight, as the Great 8 starts here at Charlotte. 8 drivers left with a shot to make it into the championship round of 4 at Texas in 3 weeks. But we've got trucks to get through tonight. Let's take a look at the truck standings coming into tonight. As Truex, McCrary, Gajdorus, DeBold, and Zunk sitting your top 5 in the truck championship. And this is going to be the final race in this championship, so still a lot to play for in the truck point standings. So definitely interesting to see how this one is going to play out. And let's take a look again at the overall standings. Again, Ryan Truex, Greg McConey, Roger DeBold, Thomas Aaron, Mark McCrary, Greg Viel, Steven Sharik, Ryan Zunk, your championship 8 right now. As bonus points for wins on the season, Truex and McConey both with multiple wins. Roger DeBold with a couple of wins. Thomas Aaron with a couple of wins. Mark McCrary, Greg Viel, Steven Sharik, and Ryan Zunk all currently sitting on the inside. Again, we eliminated Scott Formosa, J.D. Woodward, James Sharik, and Robert Walton last week at Darlington. And the Lady in Black definitely was too tough to tame, as a lot of drivers found out very, very quickly. So, while we are in the warm-up session, we are going to step away, pay a couple bills, and be right back. And we are back at Charlotte for the warm-up, as everybody taking that last little stab at the track as the warm-ups now come to an end. And it's showtime, folks, as trucks starting to grid up already. Ryan Truex setting quick time and qualifying with a 30.139. That is moving in a truck here. Chase Leahy going to start to his outside. J.D. Woodward and Mark McCrary making up row number 2. Scott Famosa and Thomas Aaron in row number 3. Ryan Zunk and Bobby Grant going to roll it off in row number 4. Row 5 sees Seth Gajdorus and Roger DeBold. Cole Gajdorus and Matt Garrett going to make up row number 6. Row 7 brings us to Steven Sharik and Robert Walton. Anthony Burleson and Greg McConey rolling off in row number 8. Row 9 goes to Alan Marshall and Justin Clapper. There's the 21 of David Hall. He's going to be joined with Stephen Lachinski in row number 10. Vince Burns and Bo Condon making up row number 11. Nikolai Jardin and Ryan Harrison in row 12. Tyler Truex and Tommy Allen Jr. making up row number 13 and starting shotgun on the field after electing to not take time in qualifying. There is the 26 of Greg Viel. So 27 trucks scheduled to roll it here tonight. 4 sets of tires to get it done. As we are, they just extended the pace lap to make sure everybody can get lined up properly. As they do that weird staging on the front stretch. So everybody trying to figure out what line they need to be in. Stragglers looking to cold trickle the field. Not going to be able to happen. Again, Justin White over in race control. Thank you so much, Justin, for doing everything you do. As there you see Truex and Leahy on your front row. J.D. Woodward running sponsorless here tonight as Geico Restart Zone is in effect here at the Charlotte Quad Oval. You're going to see it up on the wall as there it is. The initial start will be on the green. Truex is going to have the button. Looking to not have to fool around next week as we go to the Tricky Triangle in the Xfinity car. So Pocono next week will be race number 2 of the round of 8. And when we have the banner up at the top of the screen, you are going to be able to see just who is left in the playoffs, as they will be highlighted in gold here tonight. And I believe I've got a Matt up in the booth with me.
Tony, yes you do. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, sir. Thank you so much for helping us out here tonight for the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series. Race 1 of the round of 8. You picked a great night to join this league, sir. As Ryan Truex currently shows the way. Chase Leahy going to be starting to his outside as the field working its way through the 3-4 complex. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. You can say it with me if you want to. It's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab some popcorn because it's time to get it on in the Queen City. Race fans, it's showtime!
Yes, it definitely is showtime. Here we go. Round of 8. Taking the green flag here as the field goes down, charging down into turn number 1 at this point in time. Thanks for having me in here, Tony. I appreciate you bringing me in. Certainly looking forward to some high-octane racing this evening.
Some of the best racing we get here on the channel week in and week out. As, Matt, something that you might not realize about this league is the vast majority of drivers out there tonight are in one way, shape, or form involved in the industry. Most of them work in NASCAR's top 3 divisions. Of course, Ryan Truex, a top 3 division driver. And he's showing why he has that contract with Toyota right now, as they are 3 wide in the mid-pack. Good grief. Scott Famosa was the meat in a sandwich there for a couple of seconds, as J.D. Woodward has already dropped 3 spots. not trying to push his equipment too hard here in the early going as he slipped. As at the top of your screen you can see everybody that is in yellow with their name in the yellow background. Those are your chase contenders that are left here in the round of 8 as we've got a bid for second. That's McCrary looking to the inside of Leahy. Drag race into turn number 3 for second place.
Well, Tony, I'll tell you what, you cannot push the envelope of sim racing. Top 3 series in NASCAR, well, we got the top 3 series. These gentlemen that hands-on in that series week in and week out, currently on the racetrack right now doing battle. So I'm going to go ahead, grab my 5-point harness, strap myself in, because I'm sure this is going to be one high-octane event tonight. Currently up front and got the 56, currently showing the way, but he's under a hard siege right now from the 34 on the top line, followed by the 88 running the bottom as they are pretty much door.
As Leahy and McCrary is Thomas Aaron, another one of your chase contenders right there, slugging it out with J.D. Woodward for 4th. About half a second off that battle for the lead. As Truex saying nice, cool, and calm. Aaron throws it to the extreme low side on Formosa coming down, on Woodward. Ryan Zunk looking to make some headway as well. As Roger DeBolt and Bobby Grant going after each other now.
Yes, certainly a lot of early battles going on the racetrack, trying to jostle for position. Playoff race, you can't hold anything back. Don't look for these drivers to sit around and ride tonight. It's time to go. It's late in the season. That race car mentality is going to kick in, and these drivers, I guarantee you, are going to be aggressive throughout the course of the evening.
They kind of have to be at this point, because if you take a look at what's coming up on the schedule for the Great 8 rounds, we've got Charlotte tonight, Pocono next week, and the Nashville Super Speedway in 2 weeks. And then we go into the championship race at Texas in 3 weeks. So everybody looking to get their card punched early, get it punched quickly, and get it done and out of the way so the next couple of weeks are a little less stressful so you're not going in frazzled into the championship round of 4. Aaron and Woodward still working side by side for 4th. McCrary and Leahy still door to door in front of those guys. McCrary and Leahy have not gotten more than about a truck length apart since the green flag came out.
Oh, certainly. These guys continue to rage battle along the racetrack right now. You got to wonder, I mean, as hard as these guys are racing early on, is that going to affect pit strategy at all? Certainly if this stays green, all this side-by-side racing, certainly going to use and abuse those tires probably a little more than you want to at this point in time.
It is at that, and if I can have you check the info, I believe it's 4 total sets of tires to get them through the evening.
That is correct. So only 4 sets of tires. So, hey, but you know what? That's playoff racing for you. It sounds so simple, win and in, but what all does it take to make that happen? One of that, I assure you, is managing your equipment, taking care of that truck tonight. Certainly, tires are probably going to come into play as this racing continues to escalate here out on the racetrack.
Absolutely. One of your closest battles right now is with J.D. Woodward and Ryan Zunk. That's Woodward on the top shelf. Zunk running the Silver Bullet on the low side. Roger DeBold in that mix. Bobby Grant and Matt Garrett all right there within striking distance. As that's McCrary making a bid for the lead. Thinks better of it going into turn number 3. Doesn't quite have the position yet as Truex running about 2 truck lengths off that apron line. Not really punishing the right front tire as we see a lot of guys happen, but we're still side by side for 6 with Woodward and Zunk.
Yeah, certainly that's the benefit of being the leader, the 56 of Ryan Truex. You can pretty much pick into any line you want to run, and certainly it looks like he knows about the tire wear. I think he believes it's going to come into play earlier, and you can see by the line he's running tonight, he's doing everything he can to conserve those left sides at this point. Rounding out your top 5 right now, you got the 56 of Ryan Truex, followed by the 88 of Mark McCrary, the 34 of Chance Leahy, the 93 of Thomas Aaron, and the 80 piloted by Scott Formosa, if I'm saying that correctly.
You are correct, sir. J.D. Woodward, Roger DeBold, Ryan Zunk, Bobby Grant, Greg Gajdorus, all rounding out your top 10 as we currently sit. Cole under a little bit of pressure, as that is an angry hornet's nest behind him.
Oh, yeah, that is
great.
That hornet's nest, a.k.a. the Beehive, they are in a frenzy right now. Look at this. You would almost think you're inside 15 laps to go, and we're barely inside 15 laps.
Working lap 13 of 134 here tonight from Charlotte. We're going to check in with Steven Sharik. There he is, piloting the 83 on the low shelf. Trying to make something happen on Robert Walton right now. Walton was eliminated last week at the Lady in Black, as Sharik trying to make something happen. Cole Gajdorus up there, and Sharik, you can see right there, Sharik's still in it, McConey's still in it, as both those Fords are trying to pick their way through this field tonight. McConey's up 3, Sharik's already +1.
And you know what? Don't forget about the guys that currently aren't in the playoffs, because I promise you, all these drivers out here tonight, they are going to go for the win, and I don't think they care whose party they may upset in the process.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely looking to play spoiler, and they're not just racing to play spoiler to put the pressure on the guys that are left in the chase. They are also battling it out for best of the rest. So whoever doesn't finish in the top 4, whoever finishes this season 5th place in points, will get free entry into next season's ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series.
You know what, Tony? I like that. And that's the beauty of sim racing, right? Hey, it's your own league. You can make your own rules and customize it the way you like. So that gives it a little extra incentive, or a lot of incentive, for everyone else here competing tonight. Hey, you know what? I'm not running for a championship. I still got something to run for tonight. And you know what? I'm certainly, all these sponsors, all the other fans that are out here tonight, currently in the YouTube chat right now, supporting their drivers, they're going to get a show this evening.
Kyle Newkirk checking in, rooting for Chase Leahy tonight. Steven Sharik, of course, pulling for both trucks in the Sharik Family Racing stable. So, good on you, sir. Steven currently sitting in 11th.
Right now,
Go ahead.
The battle for 7th and 8th is really heating up between J.D. Woodward and, the 23 of Ryan Zunk and the 14 of Bobby Grant. The 14 has been eaten on the low side every single lap. Just now it looks like he's finally cleared the vehicle. But for about 5 laps there, he was down there eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and was certainly not backing down. I was a bit concerned about how much left front he was going to use up, but apparently he doesn't care. He knows it's coming down here to the wire. It's go time as far as getting wins and finishes in this series, and he now completes the pass.
He absolutely does. That's going to open the door for Zunk, as Zunk trying to make a move on Woodward right now, trying to reel him back in. Behind him, though, that's an absolute slugfest for 10th and 11th between Matt Garrett and Steven Sharik, as those two have been glued to the hip for the last 10 laps. Sharik trying to get something going right now, as battle for second hot and heavy again, as here comes Thomas Aaron this time. Mark McCrary on the top side, Aaron on the low side, and that's McCrary's teammate Scott Famosa helping Thomas Aaron.
Hey, a little shake and bake action, can't go wrong with that. Teammates, you know what? It's the tale of two sides of the sword, right? Certainly, throughout the course of the race, you want to do everything you can to help your team and your teammates out on the racetrack. But, you know, NASCAR, very dynamic sport, in which once it comes down to go time, inside of 10 to go, that teammate puts that race car helmet on a little bit tighter, and he decides, hey, you know what? I got to take care of my sponsors, my team. And that teammate gold pass, if you will, tends to disintegrate, and they're going to battle it out here tonight. But teammates, as of right now, hey, they'll take it, trying to work together up towards the front of the racetrack.
Well, right now they're going to have to get it sorted out pretty quickly, because Thomas Aaron currently in front of both of them, as the 80 of Famosa finally gets the clear going through 1 and 2. That opens the door on McCrary, though, as Chase Leahy was looking to the inside. Leahy's got to be careful, because he's got Roger DeBold now all over his tailgate. Yeah,
the swarm is alive tonight. Certainly not any gaps of asphalt, hardly at all on the racetrack right now. Everyone is racing pretty much as hard as they possibly can, and if you crack that window, they see a peak of daylight. These drivers are going for it if they can advance their position. However, how about this racing so far tonight? These guys are certainly mixing it up. I haven't even seen one little bit of contact so far throughout this portion of the race.
Well, just a little bit of an oops going into 3, as it looks like Scott Famosa may have gotten into the wall. Oh, yeah. He's got a wow in that bedside right now as sparks were flying as he hauled it off into turn number 3 that last time. As we're checking back with this battle, that's Leahy and Woodward going door to door. And, you know, it's a different J.D. Woodward. Now that the pressure's really off, and he's not slugging it out to try to get into the round of 8 anymore, as he was eliminated last week. J.D. Woodward definitely a little bit more relaxed. Not quite as on the ragged edge as he was last week at Darlington. And I think he was honestly overdriving the truck as Leahy and Grant now go door to door.
You know what? Certainly that is possible, especially if you don't have a lot of playoff experience. So much on the line going for a championship. I guarantee you a lot of these drivers probably lose sleep at night thinking about different strategies. Sometimes you just take that pressure off a little bit.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but we just had a big moment between the 99 of Steven Lachinsky, who looks like he's already been through a war tonight, and the 14 of Bobby Grant getting into it, going into 3. Grant with a ton of damage on that right front right now. You can see just how wadded up that hood is on that Mountain Dew Ford F-150. And that's opening the door for Steven Sharik to try to get by him. That was a wild one.
Oh, man.
I have no idea what happened to Lachinsky to cause all the damage on the 99 so far.
Yeah, my focus was going towards the front of the racetrack, but my God, you're not kidding. Look at the side of that 99. It looks like that thing got hit by a howitzer.
Well, funny enough, he's got Monster Jam on the side of that thing. He's actually a mechanic on one of Tom Mintz's trucks as his 9-to-5 job, if you want to call it that. So he's used to having very damaged trucks in his possession, but we're only 26 laps into this, and there's no fast repair tonight.
Well, it certainly looks like he took it to the Baja 1000 before he put it on the asphalt tonight. Hey, if you know how to wrench it, you can fix it, you can make it go fast, but certainly not having any fast repairs tonight. From my looks of it, the aerodynamics of that truck right now are severely compromised. Hopefully, in his case, he'll be able to get some cautions and try to at least smooth out those wrinkles tonight. But my God, that truck is just used and abused right now.
Well, take a look at the number 14 of Bobby Grant as he slips back to 13th. He's just been hemorrhaging spots since that contact with Lachinsky. So that's definitely not going to bode well for the 14. Hopefully, he's praying for a caution right now, as unfortunately I forgot to look to when the stages were. Bear with me, folks, as we're doing this on the fly. I got thrown in here at the last minute in the control booth. So yes, that's my stupid butt on the 1s and 2s tonight. But taking a look as we are fast approaching the stage break, about halfway there, only about 12 more laps to go in stage 1, as we are going to have stages on laps 40 and 80 here tonight. And
yeah, certainly the 14 at this time is going in the wrong direction after that unwanted contact. But, you know, 1.5 mile tracks, we always talk so much about dirty air being back in the pack. And once you trouble on the racetrack.
He just cheese grated the side of the 14 down the back straightaway. Trying to get up and out of the way, trying to be the good guy in the situation. And you can see that's even more damage to that truck.
You know what? That right there is just a racing deal. I don't think that was intentional at all. But unfortunately, the trouble continues for the 14. Is now it looks like he's got some Swiss cheese rubbing against the side of that vehicle as he continues to try and march forward right now, praying that stage break gets here sooner than later, I assume.
Absolutely. As we are checking in with the battle for 7th, that's Chase Leahy, Ryan Zuck, and Steven Sharik going after each other. Greg McConey trying to make some headway right now as he's got Matt Garrett right behind him. And, unfortunately, Garrett not making the playoffs this season. I don't know about you, sir, but I am definitely a fan of the sponsor on that truck.
Yes, indeed. Referring to the 3 of Matt Garrett, currently occupying the 11th position, started P12, so he is +1 on the evening. Certainly that truck's looking pretty clean still. Moving up through the field, looks like he's trying to, maybe he's more on a strategy here. It looks like that truck is really starting to come into its own as we get honored, as the laps count up throughout the course of this stage.
Absolutely, and the man right in front of him that he's trying to chase down is currently one of your 2 biggest movers. Actually, one of your 4 biggest movers is both McConey in 10th and David Hall in 13th, or +6. Your biggest mover, though, is that man there in the 69 for TTR. That is Tyler Truex, currently sitting +8, and his teammate Greg Viel, there he is, again, with a cheese grater right side on the 26, currently sitting +7. Your biggest mover in the wrong direction is right behind him. That is the 4 of Seth Gajdorus. Seth just trying to get a good run, good solid run, clean run in here tonight. Currently mired back in 21st, though.
Yes, certainly. I mean, it looks like some of these guys ran it right through the paint shop against the 80 grid, if you will, before they came out on the racetrack tonight. Again, back up front, though, continuing to lead the way, the 56 of Ryan Truex. The 93 vehicle, piloted by Scott Aaron, currently occupies position number 2, followed by the 80 of Scott Formosa, currently in the 3rd spot, up from his starting spot of 5th place. Currently the 38 occupying the 5th spot tonight, and that is currently your top 5 as they are running right now.
They are at that, but there's no love lost between Thomas Aaron and Ryan Truex. We have to go all the way back to Coda when those two put on a hell of a show all race long. Ryan was trying to use pit strategy to get away from Thomas, and unfortunately just was not able to get away from him. And what a last lap battle I remember those two fielding during that race, as Aaron now gets the clear coming off of 4. It opens his door for Scott Formosa to get up there as well. J.D. Woodward making his climb back up to the front. It looks like Truex might have been going a little too hard in the early going here, as we're just a couple laps away from the stage break. So these guys that were maybe sandbagging a little starting to turn the wick up now, as Truex and Woodward still side by side for 3rd.
Oh, we were talking about that earlier. I brought up the fact that, hey, how's these tires going to play out if they continue to run that hard? Clearly, I think the 56 is reaping the unfortunate benefits of that, but how about the 80 knocking on the back door? It's not delivery. It's Scott Formosa. He's trying to make a move and take the lead before the stage race ends. Battle up front hard for the lead at this point in time.
Absolutely, and every bonus point counts, as we only got 3 races to punch your ticket into the championship round of 4 at Texas in 3 weeks in the Cup car. But, these guys are just picking them up and laying them down right now, as checking back towards the tail end of the lead 8. Chase Leahy is the final truck to get a bonus point, or will be, as long as he can just hang on. He's got about a second to the good, as pit road should be closing this next time by, as we're going to be 2 to go for the stage. Thomas Aaron, Scott Formosa, J.D. Woodward, Ryan Truex, Steven Shrieck, Mark McCrary, Roger DeBold, Ryan Zunk, Greg McConey sits in 9th, and Chase Leahy sits in 10th. And when the scroll comes back around at the top of your screen, folks, take a look at the number of yellow background names that are up there. Everybody trying to get it figured out right now, is Mark McCrary putting the pressure, that's Steven Shrieck and Ryan Truex. Truex has now slipped to 4th. And he's battling for 4th and 5th with Shrieck.
I was just going to say that 56 truck of Ryan Truex, unfortunately, looked like he pulled the air brakes on that truck, fell off the pace substantially. He was almost up against the wall for about a full lap as you were filling us in on the other action going along the racetrack. Almost looked like he may have bounced off of it just a little bit, but I guarantee you he is praying that he gets that this stage break comes up here. So he definitely probably wants to do some work on that vehicle. Actually looks like maybe the right front of the 56 is going down.
Yeah, and that's the problem with being out in front like he was. You don't have anybody to gauge off of when you're the lead dog in the hunt, as caution should be coming out this time. There it is. So Thomas Aaron, Scott Famosa, J.D. Woodward, Steven Sharik, Ryan Truex, Mark McCrary, Roger DeBold, Ryan Zunk, Greg McConey, and Chase Leahy all getting the bonus points for that stage. And if you take a look, only 3 of your top 10 are not chase contenders. But max bonus points for Thomas Aaron. There he is, your stage 1 winner. And while we are waiting for the pit stops to happen, we are going to step away, pay a couple of bills, and we will be right back.
Hey, are you tired of your dog dragging in mud into your house? You got water laying in your yard? There's going to be a lot more water laying this spring. Now's the time to give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342, and we'll be glad to take care of all your outdoor drainage needs.
Oh, you are not, you're not alone, no. Oh, you are not, you're not alone. You are not, you're not alone.
Thanks again, guys, for coming out for demo day here at Chaladon and just going over hip start and how it's going to improve your swing. Hip start is really a key factor in getting that proper downswing. The beauty of hip start is you can change your swing in less than an hour. Just put hip start on and you're going to notice a difference right away.
So before I was introduced to the hip start, my shots were kind of all over the place. Using the hip start, I definitely noticed more consistency and getting that great tactile feedback, knowing when the proper moment to snap your hits has really helped with getting my shot a lot more consistent. And I just feel more confident whenever I go out to the golf course with my friends.
Before you even grab a club out of your bag, we're using hip start to warm up. Put it on and get that feel and just fire the hips. Make sure that hip's turning and make sure hips firing through with hip start.
I'm able to hit the ball a lot straighter and a lot farther, and more importantly, consistently hit the ball. What I've seen today, I personally live by and swear by the hip start.
Yeah, plus 15 is huge given the hard racing that we've seen all stage long. The intensity was up. It looked like, 5 to go on the racetrack. And to be able to pick up 15 spots with that level of competition going on the racetrack, that says an awful lot about the 69 truck of Tyler Truex. And that machine is cranked up tonight. Currently going to run through the rest of the field here for you guys right now, occupying the 11th position of Matt Garnett. 12th position, Vince Burns, currently up plus 9 spots this evening. 13th belongs to Bo Kondo. Anthony Burleson. Well,
Green flag, green flag.
man, it looked like he was shot up out of a cannon just as he hit the Geico restart zone. He was on it and fired off down the front straightaway. Currently, right now, the 93 continuing to show the way of Thomas Aaron, followed by the 47 of J.D. Woodward. And look at these guys. They are dicing it up again. That beehive is alive tonight. Good God, look at this racing going on right now, Tony. I was going to say, yeah, Mark McCrary certainly flexing a little bit of muscle right now out here on the racetrack and battling up front. It looked like the 80 squirted out of a hot dog bun up there to the lead. I'm not sure how he pulled it off, but I don't see any damage on any of the trucks. Man, what a move by the 80 to get up front there. Currently, right now, the 93 of Thomas Aaron, currently occupying the 4th spot. He is looking really racy right now. He made some moves, got a couple passes, currently holding down the 4th position right now. J.D. Woodward, again, also flexing some muscle. Everyone inside the top 10. I mean, they are basically racked and stacked as they do battle out here on the racetrack right now. Currently occupying the 12th spot right now. You got the 34 of Chance Leahy, followed by the 79 of Anthony Burleson, the 38 of Roger Diebold, and currently in the 15th spot, that's going to be the 55 machine, Vince Burns, as we're currently under caution again on the racetrack. Oh, yeah, he definitely had a shovel full of help there. Go up here to the Call of Duty cam. Yeah, certainly he's going to want to at least put 4 Dr. Feelgoods on that vehicle. I mean, like you said, he had all 4 of those wheels locked up, did everything he could, but sometimes you just got that much momentum built up and there's nowhere to go. Certainly looks like a racing incident to me out there on the racetrack.
And we are back as the lights are out on the Chevy Silverado Pace Truck. Welcome to the first race of the Great 8 here for the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series. Where are we? There we go. Scott Famosa going to have the button as the field works its way into the Geico restart zone. Let's see what type of restart Famosa's going to give us. Wastes absolutely zero time jumping on the loud pedal. McConey caught a little bit of sleep at the switch, as that's going to open the door for Sharik. McConey's able to drop down in front of the 83, throws the block, but here comes Tyler Truex on the low side. As the 88 of Mark McCrary just along for the ride at this point on the top shelf. Drag race down the back straightaway for fourth, as Truex going to send it going into 3. Aaron right there as well, just kind of biding his time. He's trying to give himself an out should something pop off between the 88 and the 69. It's not a lot of love lost between those two trucks, as they've had meetings of the minds a couple of times this season already. Famosa, McConey, Sharik, McCrary, your top 4, throw a blanket over them. As now Truex able to slot in. A little bit of a gap starting to form as Alan Marshall and Chase Leahy going after each other. Leahy now works to the inside of Ryan Truex, coming through 3 and 4 into the dog leg. Leahy now has to battle with Marshall, as Marshall had the advantage coming down off the banking off of 4. That second lane already starting to pay dividends, as we're only working lap 63 of 134. And remember, we are getting a stage caution at lap 40. Again,
yes,
go ahead.
Yeah, certainly. The way these guys have been racing since the drop of the green flag, side by side, that's certainly going to throw some rubber down up there on that second lane sooner than later, which is probably allowing that second lane coming to fruition earlier on tonight. And you know what? That's probably a good thing, as hard as these guys are racing. Give you a couple different options here as far as what lines you want to run, depending on what your race strategy is. Should be able to lessen the load on those tires on the high side, especially if this run continues to go green.
Absolutely.
Currently back up front. The 80 truck piloted by Scott Formosa continues to show the way up from the 16th starting spot tonight, currently in P number 2, occupied by the 12 of Greg McElroy, followed by the 8 McConey, followed by the 83 of Stephen S. here, currently occupying the top 3 right now.
Absolutely. Stephen Sharik in that number 83. Again, a non-chase truck leading this piece, and a bunch of chasers right behind them. As everybody again in gold on that scroll at the top of your screen, folks, they are all your championship contenders here tonight. Another one of your championship contenders, the 26 of Greg Viel, currently mired back there. There he is in the race for life, working the inside of Cole Gajdorus. Gajdorus had a good run going last week. Unfortunately, let it slip through his fingers. As Alan Marshall working the rim ride line way up there. Cole's brother Seth right back there as well. There he is in the Mobile 1 Ford F-150, trying to make something happen. But Chase Leahy right now under heavy pressure from J.D. Woodward and the 66 of Robert Walton. Walton and Woodward both eliminated last week at Darlington. And you know that they would both love to play spoiler here tonight and put the pressure on these final 8 going into next week at Pocono and the following week at Nashville. Definitely a schedule when they laid this out is we're next week in the Xfinity car at Pocono, and then Nashville in the Cup car. When they laid this schedule out, they really knew what they were doing, making sure that whoever gets crowned champion of the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series is as well-a-rounded driver as you can get. Battle for second now is Sharik looking to the inside of McConey with McCrary right there as well, as everybody's trying to race down Scott Famosa, who currently shows the way.
Yeah, Scott Famosa currently carrying the torch for everyone that's currently not in the chase, shining that light, if you will, for everyone fighting for the runner-up prize. You know, me as a driver, that's going to give me a little extra motivation, certainly to go up there and get the W. Just because I'm not in the chase doesn't mean to forget about me. And the 80's currently making a statement right now. But everyone, I'm telling you, Tony, everyone inside the top 5 right now continues to race hard. Minimal gaps between both of them right now. as we start to maybe form a single line here in the top 5, maybe they're going to try and just decide to maybe ride this one out to the stage break. But touching base back to the 47 of J.D. Woodward, he's certainly no stranger to the top 10 tonight. He's been well upside the top 5. Another candidate potential to play spoiler tonight as well.
He can be. Woodward does have speed here in the truck. But Scott Famosa, another one that did get eliminated last week, looking to give a giant middle finger to everybody that's still in the chase, going, be glad I didn't make it out of Darlington alive. But, yeah, I mean, just some great action going on right now as Tyler Truex was they're just looking on now on the inside of McConey as Sharik has gotten past, opened the door for Truex. As McConey's got to stop the hemorrhaging. He's going to need every bonus point moving forward. One of his teammates on Beer Money Racing, that's Roger DeBold in the 18th, is currently sitting 18th in the 38, about 2 seconds off of Seth Gajdorus in 17th. Not the night DeBold was hoping for. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Bobby Grant is upside down on the back straightaway. What on earth just happened to the 14?
Oh. Yeah, definitely you want all 4 tires on the asphalt, not pointing up in the air. So that's definitely not the position he wants to be in right now. But my God, Tony, what happened?
Well, there he is on the low side. Alan Marshall and Seth Gajdorus both around him as Marshall goes up to the top side. Cole Gajdorus in front of him. And, oh, my goodness. Let's watch that again.
Have you ever?
Maybe once or twice, but not when I was sober. Good grief.
Oh.
Let's watch this from the blimp. Do you need to thank our friends, before I forget, TLC, Engineering, Outdoor Lighting, and Eagles Wood Creations for giving us these replays tonight. And there we see the 14 on the low side. He just goes up into... Ouch!
Wow. Unbelievable.
Let's watch that one more time.
He took off like a howitzer.
Yeah, pretty much. Come on, work with me here.
Stops also ensuing on the racetrack right now as we go back here and try to dissect exactly what caused all this mayhem on the racetrack.
Well, we're about to find out. As here they are coming off of 4. And you can see the 14 of Grant gets the run on Alan Marshall. And we're going to slow this down when we get to turn 2.
Gotta love modern day technology where we can slow the frame rate down so we can pinpoint exactly what happened here.
As there we see it. He just goes up and catches the seam in. Oh. That's a seam and a safer barrier, and that truck just caught more airtime than a skateboard at the X Games.
Oh. That looked like Evel Knievel.
Pretty much. Wow.
Well, certainly in this case, you're thankful this is a sim race and not real life.
Exactly. That's our first, thank God, this is a simulator moment of the night. Now, the good news is, it's good news and bad news, depending on what side of the coin you want to be on. Good news, we're still not at the stage break, as we still have... we're going to have 5 laps to go as the lights have gone out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck. Bad news, if you're Scott Famosa, that it's not the stage break. And you see Famosa is leading a whole slew of chase contenders. Second on back to 7th, all chasers. And Famosa looking to play spoiler here tonight.
Certainly looking to play spoiler tonight, and we're going to rack them and stack them again before we turn the swarm loose. Let's see if they can keep everything at least to the point on the racetrack, we don't have to throw the caution flag one more time and for this upcoming stage break within the next 5 laps here. Again, on point, the 80 of Scott Formosa has a lot of speed in that truck tonight, especially on the long run. And again, how about the 56 of Ryan Truex tonight? Was able to recover from some earlier troubles he had late in stage 1, seems to have rebounded nicely. And the other Truex as well tonight, man, he's been plowing through the field like a steamroller, certainly showing that he has a truck that's certainly worthy of contending of the win tonight as well.
He is at that as Ryan sitting just inside the top 5. And it looks like Tyler may have come down for servicing. Yes, he did. One of the ones to take the advantage, giving up the stage points for track position going into the final stages. McConey all over the tailgate of Scott Formosa for segment number 2 as the 88 of Mark McCrary trying to figure out which lane he wants to go with. Going to throw the block on Steven Sharik. Here comes Truex to the top side as McConey trying to make a bid for the lead. 3 to go here in stage number 2. Formosa and McCreary on the low side. They've got Sharik for company as Ryan Truex, throws it to the extreme outside, trying to get some clean air to the front of that Toyota. Two Chevys, two Fords, and a Toyota at the front of this piece right now. The only interloper right now being Ryan Truex he was your pole sitter, but Greg McConey sitting plus 14 right now in second, making a bid for the lead.
A bid for the lead. It almost looks like there's going to be a different driver going to challenge for it every single lap. I mean, certainly the top 5 pretty all clustered together right now. They're diving high. They're going low. The 93 just gets tagged in the rear bumper. Saves it. What a save by the 93.
And Thomas Aaron and the 23 of Ryan Zunk were really going after each other. McConey has the nose out front, coming to the stripe. He got that lap. McConey did, being credited with leading a lap now. But again, thanks our good friends to TLC Outdoor Lighting, Eagles Wood Creations, bringing you all the action here tonight on Sim Racing Media. Thank you all so much for making us a part of your contact coming through 3.
Oh, and we have mayhem up front.
And that's going to be the stage.
And I'll tell you what caused that. The 80 got a massive push from the 88. Look like they were bump drafted down the front stretch at Talladega. And I have to think he got him just a tick loose. He tried to save and recover it. He had nowhere to go up there. I mean, every piece of real estate up front was being utilized by those guys racing hard to the end of the stage.
Jeepers.
Unfortunately, there is just a ton of carnage up front. Hopefully these drivers up here showing the way tonight don't have or can mitigate that damage and still have a competitive vehicle, because my God, that is just heartbreaking.
Well, we're going back and taking a look here as the 88 and the 12 have a meeting of the minds. Ryan Truex involved. Scott Formosa going to go on to get the stage victory. Let's take a look at that one more time.
I could be having a scoring error here, but I'm showing the 88 currently right now as the leader.
You are correct, sir. And you see McConey's already sideways there. And then the 88 gets punted. McConey straightens him back out. And then McConey goes up, collects Truex.
He's a pedophile or was.
Wow.
And
the 88 shot out of a cannon gets to the stripe first. Let's go back and take a look back here. Exactly. Say it's not so.
Exactly.
Steven Sharik catching a piece of that one. Let's back this up a little bit here.
You know, Tony, we've been talking about this from the onslaught of the race. It's a playoff race, 8 to go. Wins are so ever crucial.
Run over from behind. Oh. My goodness. Not the night Steven Sharik was hoping for.
Now he just got his biscuits smeared from the back.
Completely run over from behind by the 23, as we've got a lot of damaged trucks on pit road. Ryan Truex, Steven Sharik, Tommy Allen, Greg McConey, Ryan Zunk, Robert Walton, all on pit road because of that incident. McConey and Allen's now rolling, but
it looks like Uncle Tony's pick and pull, unfortunately, down there on pit road right now, though the carnage on the racetrack. Oh, Ryan Truex, your heart has to break for him tonight. All these guys up front that have been...
It's just minor cosmetic damage on Truex, though. The guy that got the worst of it is the 66 of Walton, and the 23 of Zunk. They both came flying in there, and you can see just how pancaked the left side of the 66 is, and the front just caved completely in as Zunk bringing it back down pit road, as does the 24 Tommy Allen. But that is going to hand the lead of the race over after green flag pit stops to Chase Leahy.
Your second place starter tonight.
Yeah. And wouldn't you know who won the pony? All those guys that came down on lap 73 currently sit in your top 5. Chase Leahy, Tyler Truex, Matt Garrett, Seth Gajdorus, Vince Burns. Of the drivers that pit under this caution, Mark McCrary, Cole Gajdorus. Looks like Cole may have pit for fuel only, trying to get some track position.
Great strategy call here by those guys that came in just a few laps before the stage break there. And I'll tell you what, cautions always, 9 times out of 10, breed cautions. Guarantee that crew chief or that spotter dialed up a little strategy play there, and it just so happened to work out for these guys up towards the front of the field right now.
That absolutely did. Your biggest mover tonight is Tyler Truex, plus 23 after not getting a clean lap in qualifying. Currently sits on the outside of the front row on this restart. This restart being brought to you by Eagleswood Creations out of New Jersey. You can find them on their Facebook page. Some of the greatest crafters in the industry right now. If you've got something special or need something special for that special someone in your life, you need to look no further than Eagleswood's Creations, and they do ship nationwide, folks. So give them a look on their Facebook page after this race is over, and let them know that you appreciate them putting up the broadcast fee for the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series, so we're able to bring you the great action that we have seen all night long.
That's just it, Tony. So many people and companies involved behind the scenes that necessarily you don't see on the racetrack that give us the opportunity to do what we do and call this race and be able to present it to all you guys out there right now watching this amazing battle on the racetrack right now. All of the partners tonight, all the sponsors, we appreciate you guys. If you guys are watching, go show them some love. If they have a YouTube channel, subscribe, smack that bell, or go ahead and order one of their products. They'll certainly appreciate it.
And somebody that's certainly appreciating it right now is Chase Leahy, as he jumps into the TLC restart zone and immediately jumps on the loud pedal, getting a good getaway from Tyler Truex. Leahy and Truex running stem to stern right now, but the battle right now is behind them. That's Gajdorus and McCrary going after each other, as here comes Vince Burns and Cole Gajdorus behind them.
Yeah, we got some new faces up here towards the front now. We're going to have to see how these boys want to handle business here. Going back up front, the 34 Squirt side of the cannon currently has about almost a 0.4 of a second gap over the 69 of Tyler Truex right now. Currently occupying the position of Matt Garrett, number 4 machine of Seth Gajdorus, and then rounding out your top 5 right now, the 88 of Mark McCrary.
Absolutely, McCrary trying to make something happen on the low side. Now, you might be wondering why Cole Gajdorus only came down for fuel. That's because he pit for tires on lap 73, just came down on lap 80 to top off the fuel tanks. as paying dividends for him already, as the battle really is with his brother and Matt Garrett, as that is Seth Gajdorus in the 4 on the low side, Garrett in the 3 on the top shelf, trying to make it happen here, as Mark McCrary kind of no room at the end behind him. Vince Burns and Justin Clapper starting to heat it up back there with Cole Gajdorus. That is your battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th, running stem to stern, 2 wide.
Yeah, definitely the pack of wolves is right there between the 7th and 10th position right now. That's where the racing action's really picked up, as we're pretty much all calm for right this moment back up front. But certainly right now, my God, Cole Gajdorus and the 55 of Vince Burns, they're certainly looking racy right now, mixing it up. Just a lot of hard side-by-side racing continuing to go on. Mid-top 10 right now at this point in time.
Clapper throws that Recon number 63 to the inside of Vince Burns. Burns gives him plenty of room going into 1. Cole Gajdorus up on the top shelf. Drag race down the back straightaway. Clapper on the low side. Gajdorus on the top shelf as Bo Condon coming up to help his friend. There's Condon in the 25, and I don't know if you got a chance to check out the opening video tonight, but that was Mr. Condon that brought us into the action here tonight, as right now Vince Burns, Roger DeBold trying to make some headway again, as Chase Leahy has flat checked out. A second to the good over second place, Tyler Truex. There's Truex, there's Leahy, and you can just barely see Truex in that shot as they come through 3 and 4.
I gotta think that damage on the 69 machine right now is minuscule as it looks. That front end is not perfectly aerially sound right now. I gotta think that's coming into play here, just slowing down that vehicle just a little bit right now. He certainly looked much quicker earlier on in the run. But how about the 34 of Chance Leahy? I mean, he has just hooked up the afterburner, and he is checking out right now, currently maintaining a 1-second margin over the 69 of Tyler Truex.
Absolutely. As we're going to go back to this battle for 4th, it's Anthony Burleson, Seth Gajdorus, Justin Clapper, Mark McCrary, Bo Condon, Vince Burns, and Cole Gajdorus all running stem to stern right now. That is an angry pack of Hornets, and there's the heavily damaged lap truck that is Greg McConey, just trying to salvage as many points out of tonight as he possibly can. Currently sitting a lap down. He is in the free pass position should another caution come out currently, but definitely not the night he was hoping for. As we're checking back in, there is the 4 trying to look to the inside and throw the block on the 63. So the 79 of Burleson and the 63 of Clapper both go to the low side. Gajdorus trying to use that upper lane as Burleson throws the block coming down the back chute. That's going to check up Gajdorus and possibly open the door for Clapper now.
Yeah, certainly. A lot of hard side-by-side racing going on. Certainly can act as a catapult, if you will, for the guy sitting in the catbird seat, if you will, right behind him. And certainly it looks to be the case right now, as positions 3rd through 5th right now are really dicey out there on the racetrack.
They are absolutely getting a little bit dicey. Another place that is starting to get a little bit dicey is your battle for just inside the top 10, as it was Roger DeBold who just wrestled the spot away from Cole Gajdorus. Both those drivers now back to where they started this race. DeBold in 10th, Gajdorus in 11th. Scott Famosa currently sitting mired almost 3/4 of a second behind this little battle, as not a ton of pressure. And then checking back further behind him, that is Ryan Truex, J.D. Woodward, and Steven Sharik all going after each other as Famosa looks to the inside of Gajdorus coming into 3.
Yeah, I got to imagine that 56 of Ryan Truex just is not driving how he wants right now, because just a few laps ago, he was up towards the front. Same thing with the 47 of J.D. Woodward. I have to bet that damage right now is just got that vehicle handling poorly. Hopefully, they'll have another opportunity here or two to work on their vehicle. Certainly not the performance they wanted tonight after that strong showing earlier in the race. But nonetheless, the 47 currently occupying the 16th position.
He is at that, as Roger DeBold under heavy pressure from Cole Gajdorus there, as Scott Famosa has gotten by both of them. Here comes Greg Viel on Gajdorus now. Viel blinking on the top side. That has got to be unnerving, especially if your name is Ryan Truex, not knowing where the 26 is.
Yeah, Ryan Truex just can't seem to stay out of harm's way tonight. And you got the blinking time bomb up there on the high side. Certainly, obviously, that's not the driver's intention. It's something we have to deal with sim racing, but nonetheless, sometimes you can have tragedy strike on the racetrack with none of your doing at all whatsoever.
As we're watching the battle for fourth now, Justin Clapper has gotten around Matt Garrett. Garrett gone a little too hard, a little too soon. Currently sitting plus 14, though, is Clapper. Garrett plus 7. Anthony Burleson in front of them plus 12. But still, your biggest mover is that other Truex Racing Chevy of Tyler Truex up there. And little known fact, not talked about all that often, but Tyler, a Whelen modified driver.
I was going to say, I thought I seen that name on television a couple nights ago.
You absolutely did.
Well, hey, that's one of the benefits of being able to call these races. Sometimes you get to watch the drivers you see on TV, and then, hey, we're getting to watch these guys right here live tonight, battling out in the esports realm, if you will, and they're certainly putting on a show tonight.
They are at that, and we do need to thank Justin White over in race control tonight for keeping everybody honest, keeping the eye in the sky. And again, thanking our very good friends over at Eagles Woods Creations for all of your crafting needs. Again, you want something special for that special someone, look no further than Eagles Wood Creation out of New Jersey. They do ship nationwide. If you ask them real nicely, they could send it worldwide, depending on where in the world you are and where your special someone is. But definitely check them out on their Facebook page. All sorts of... there's a ton of stuff on that Facebook page in their shop section, and I'll tell you right now, it's some of the most beautiful things that I have ever seen handcrafted. So Eagles Woods Creations.
Absolutely want to thank our partners tonight, but the battle is going back to the front. The 34 of Chance Leahy under siege right now. Currently from the 69 of Tyler Truex, who has currently resumed the lead, followed by the 79 of Anthony Burleson.
Well, we thought that Chase was probably going a little too hard, a little too soon, as the green flag flew to start segment number 3 in the final segment, and he's showing it right now as Burleson and Clapper door-to-door for second. Clapper and Burleson each with one podium so far this season, looking to make it their second of the season, as we are fast approaching 30 to go. And it's good news, bad news. Good news. Everybody's got to come down for one more pit stop. Bad news. Everybody's got to come down for one more pit stop. And it's definitely going to be a strategy game. As taking a look at the tire fall off right now, after only 30 or so laps, we're looking at a full second worth of fall off, sometimes 2, depending on how much traffic you're in and where guys are playing and aren't playing nicely. So the undercut is going to be huge here tonight.
Yeah, certainly for you guys at home or maybe new to NASCAR or auto racing, a second doesn't sound like a lot, but on the racetrack at these speeds these guys are running, a second is a ton, and 2 seconds is astronomical, especially as these laps are winding down tonight. We talked about earlier on in the race keys to success tonight: maintaining your vehicle, trying to keep your truck clean and in top performing condition. 2, saving your tires. And you got to imagine drivers like, for example, the 25 of B. Condon or 3 Matt Garrett, all those cautions and all this carnage that have happened tonight certainly are going to get you a little revved up. And when you go back green, you may overdrive the vehicle a little bit. And I think that's what happened with a few of these drivers. They just went a little bit too hard. Hopefully their spotter, the crew chief, can settle their drivers back down here, and they can have something to contend with. Because remember, they're also getting low on tires. I don't know if they could, if they wanted to, if they could pit one more time after this and still have tires to put on that vehicle.
Some may not. It has yet to be determined. But it looks like everybody has taken tires at least twice so far already. So they are on their third set. They're going to have one more set to be able to put on. Just checking in with the live chat right now. Phil, he will welcome, and first-time watcher, we're glad to have you with us here tonight for the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series race number 1 of the round of 8. And to answer your question, yes, in both counts. They do rotate from the trucks to the Xfinity to the Cup every week. There are separate point standings for each vehicle, and then there is an overall champion of combined scores from the 3. And you can find it on their Facebook page, ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series, on Facebook for all the information on how you can get involved in season number 2. Currently checking in with Bo Connon and Scott Famosa as they are going stem to stern right now. Battle just for the final spot in the top 5.
Yes, certainly the series is ThunderClap. The man on the move tonight, Justin Clapper, currently occupying the second position as he started all the way back in position 18. Your biggest mover of the night, up one spot from him, starting position 25th. He's currently your leader right now. It's 69 time for the Tyler Truex machine, who shows the way.
Tyler Truex, the Pied Piper of Marietta, New Jersey, currently leads this piece by over a second as we are inside 30 to go. And the question sits right now, who's going to be the first one in your top 10 to blink? And I don't mean blink out of the race. Who's going to be the first one to flinch to bring it down pit side for the money stop?
Well, you certainly don't want to be the first person in most cases, and you definitely don't want to be the last. But at some point in time, these guys just don't have enough juice in the tank to run the distance. Those tires, those trucks have to be driving a little horrendous right now, especially with the level of intensity right now. These guys have been racing that all night. I guarantee you that that left front tire has to be used and abused just a little bit. But I'll tell you what, if I'm in that vehicle right now, if I'm sitting in position 7th through 10th, I might want to be the first one down pit road, especially if this stays green. Looking at the amount of fall off and the differential between the first top 3, that might not be a bad call if you come down right now and can execute a solid stop on pit road.
As we are watching the battle for the final spot in the top 10, the wounded Ryan Truex, who was your pole sitter tonight, going into a slugfest with J.D. Woodward. Woodward looking to the inside on that Toyota of Truex, and you can see the heavy right side damage on Woodward's truck, and you can see the heavy left side damage on Truex's truck. Both of them involved in incidents here tonight, and definitely not a night they were hoping for. As checking back in at the front, Tyler Truex, Justin Clapper, Anthony Burleson, Chase Leahy, Scott Famosa. We've got one coming down. Here we go. Matt Garrett and Seth Gajdorus going to be the first 2 to flinch out of the top 10.
Right, roughly in that running order that I was projecting. Possibly we could see a move down pit road, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. These guys going back down for one more pit stop, which could be the money stop tonight, the final scheduled stop. Poor Dr. Feelgood's going to come back on the racetrack, and they are going to be screaming. So now that we've had pit stops start to look for, especially the leaders, to come in with the next few laps, given the amount that their vehicles have fallen off relative to what those guys are going to be running when they come back out on the racetrack. They certainly don't want to give up too much.
What just happened to Bo Condon? Oh, my.
Let's see here.
He is stuck in the wall.
Yeah, right. I wonder if he lost it coming down the pit road.
Well, let me see if I can find it here, because he's technically not on pit road.
He's right before the scoring line. Okay, now he's in his pit stall here.
Yeah, he just jumped to the pits.
Oh, you had to take a tow.
We're going to back this
you wanna
up.
do.
As I do apologize for having to do it this way, folks, as it didn't show up on SDK. And here he is from high above. Yup, too much rear brake bias, and gets caught in the safer barrier seam. Oh, what could have been for Condon tonight. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Tyler Truex continues to show the way. Now 2 seconds to the good over Justin Clapper, Scott Famosa, Roger DeBold, all with some good separation of the drivers that have already come down pit side for the money stop. Matt Garrett wins that battle as he took 2.
Woo!
Anthony Burleson on 4, looking to the inside. That is your battle for 12th. And what should be effective race lead as Vince Burns brings the 55 pit side.
Yes, certainly. There's rolling the dice, and then there is rolling the dice. I'm not sure if I like that call on 2 tires. We're just going to have to see how that plays out. But then again, I'm not in that race car. I'm the guy up in the booth, and certainly there's a lot more than they know what's going on with their truck than what I know sitting up here in the booth watching them. But going back to the top spot, the 69 of Tyler Truex, when I look at his truck, he's got a clean machine. I'm not seeing any battle scars in that vehicle or any sign of cheese grater right now.
The right front's got a little wow in it. Just behind that that left side or the right side tail lamp, you can see just a little wow in the front of that truck, but it does not seem to be affecting him at all.
No, certainly not, as he continues to approach the 3-second differential margin. Certainly the biggest lead we've seen out of anyone.
And we just jinxed him as he got into the wall coming off of 2. I am so sorry, Brian. Or Tyler. Both of you.
And I got the other guy tonight. I was bragging about him as he caught some carnage on the racetrack.
As we are watching the battle with Ryan Truex, that's Roger DeBold in front of him. Bo Condon on the fresh shoes after having to tow back out on track. And that's what fresh tires can do for you, as we are 16 laps to go. And you got to wonder, is somebody going to try to stretch it?
Given the course of this race and as hard as the racing intensity has been, I think we're going to see someone try to stretch it. You know what? The guy that took 2 left side tires, I mean, he's definitely really throwing up a Hail Mary. So certainly look for your potential winner to roll the dice and win on a strategy call here, unless the old tale of cautions ensue cautions prevails tonight. But certainly it has been one heck of a race up here, Tony, from the booth. Thanks for bringing me in here last minute notice. Glad I could help out and get a taste of this series and what they have to offer right now. You guys currently in the chat and watching us live, our live stream, are getting the show here this evening. It's been fun to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Santina D'Agostino checking in. I do believe that is Stephen Sharik's wife or mother, and I'm not sure which. Let us know which you are, ma'am. We are happy to have you with us. Kyle Newkirk, thank you for checking in. Welcome to Phil Heatwool. Joey Cox checking in to go and say, go Thomas. Of course, talking about Thomas Aaron, who unfortunately is mired back in 16th right now, but
one lap
has done his money stop, but he's still mired way back there as Truex continues to show the way. There is the gap. Clapper is starting to reel in Truex again. The question is, did he save enough, and does he have enough to get the final 12 laps out of the way? As we now have 12 laps to go as Truex crosses the start-finish line. Truex, Clapper, Famosa, Woodward, DeBold, Ryan Truex, Cole Gajdorus, Tommy Allen, Stephen Lachinsky running out your lead lap trucks currently. Chase Leahy, there he is in that white ride coming down the back straightaway with a good head of steam, leading the trucks that have completed their money stop.
I'll tell you what, Tony, we could be gearing up here for a finish like we had back in the early 2000s between Bobby Labonte and Jimmy Johnson. The 63 of Clapper, he is coming in a hurry. He has cut that differential down to inside 2.4 seconds. The question is, if Clapper can get close to the 69 of Tyler Truex, and I think he can, will that 69 start having to drive out that rear window? 69 has a
The short answer is yes. Because Clapper's not going to do anything crazy. He's not going to wreck him. But he's going to try to rattle his cage. I can promise you that.
Absolutely what I was getting to. A little reminiscent of Dale Earnhardt, if you will, the Intimidator. You bet. I think he can get there. Well, I think he can close it in enough to where he can start making Truex sweat a little bit. And if he's able to do that, I think we could be in line for one whale of a finish here tonight.
Well, we are 9 laps to go. Truex with 2 3/4 seconds to the good over Clapper. Clapper has, that's Chase Leahy getting his lap back. Anthony Burleson right there. The 3 of Matt Garrett. The 83 of Steven Sharik all right there, as they're trying to help pull Clapper now to get him up to Truex. And there you go, 2/10 just down the back straightaway. As Truex comes pit side, he can't make it.
Oh no, trouble for your leader tonight, Tyler Truex, the 69. Oh, as he has to dive down pit road. I don't know if he was out of fuel or if he had a tire going down. Oh,
fuel.
You hate that.
He had to go fuel, because if you look, it's not going to be a full tank of fuel for this race. Check your info screen.
Checking info screen. Thank you, Tony.
What are we, 75%?
75% fuel payload. Oh, if you only had the remaining 15%, but you don't. Certainly fuel mileage came into play tonight for the 69, but don't want to take away from the valiant effort that he put forth here tonight. He certainly definitely deserved to be up there fighting for the lead tonight.
He absolutely did. Now your biggest mover goes to that Rattlesnake Chevy Silverado for Tyler Truex Racing. That is Tommy Allen Jr., who did not lay a time in qualifying. Started shotgun on the field, currently sitting plus 19 back in 7th position. Your second biggest mover is your race leader, Scott Famosa, as Justin Clapper showing the way. Scott Famosa and Roger DeBold were going after each other a little bit there. Ryan Truex still putting the pressure on J.D. Woodward. And are we about to see Justin Clapper get his first win? No, we're not. What was that?
Oh,
McConey. What happened to McConey?
Tony, way off the pace.
Let's go back and take a look here at the 12. There he is, way off the pace, trying to stay up and out of the way. As we're watching from the chopper.
Certainly doing what he can to not impede the flow of racing on the high side of the racetrack, but he is way off the pace.
Engine got hand grenaded and he got turned by the 55 as he was trying to get down low. Oh my goodness.
Another blown engine tonight. Oh. That's the second one by my count on the evening.
Yep.
More heartbreak.
All that damage just did McConey in.
Oh.
And
it's playoff racing, Tony.
It is. It is. Now the question is Clapper going to come down pit side? Yes, he is. As he's going to top that thing off.
If he doesn't come down pit road, everyone else probably is. So I don't blame him on that decision at all whatsoever.
Well, so that is going to promote Anthony Burleson in the 79 up to the point, as everybody who had yet to come down is bringing them pit side. So Leahy and Garrett up into second and third. There you see them. I'm kind of surprised Garrett didn't bring it pit side to get the final set of lefts put on that truck, but he's probably figuring he's made his bet. He's going to lie in it now. as a couple of trucks looking to get some wave arounds here. Thomas Aaron getting the free pass to get back on the lead lap, as there is Steven Lashinsky being scored as one of the final trucks on the lead lap in front of Burleson. Vince Burns up there as well. Cole Gajdorus, Mark McCrary, and Greg Viel all up there. So
this changes everything.
Oh, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. Is Burleson, Leahy, Garrett, Clapper, Formosa, DeBold, Woodward, Truex, Allen, and Cole Gajdorus getting the final spot in your top 10 on this restart. And if the lights go out on the pace car this time by, we are getting a natural green-white checker finish. But we do have overtime available.
You know what? It's been storming and booming here in the Thunderclapper series since from the drop of green. Why not throw it in to overtime? The night time's the right time after all, right, Tony?
Sure. As the blues song says.
Oh, and before I forget, I wanted to touch base with those extra 2 tires. Sometimes these trucks don't fire off nice if you just change the left sides. So I'm wondering if that's part of the reason why he elected to keep the 4 tires on that vehicle as we come down here for a green-white checkered, kicking it into OT.
And from the looks of it, we might be going into overtime, as we're currently 3 to go and the lights are still on the pace car. So yes, we are going into overtime. First of 3 attempts at a green-white checker finish. For those of you unfamiliar with how that works in NASCAR's Premier Divisions, green flag will come back out. The leader has to come all the way back around, complete a lap, and cross the start-finish line to accept the white flag for us to race back to checkers. If something pops off prior to the lead truck getting back around to take the white flag, caution flag will come back out. We're going to rack them, stack them, and try it again, up to 3 attempts. If after that 3rd attempt the green comes out and we cannot make it back to race back to checkers, field frozen, race over, we're finishing under caution.
Right,
but let's hope we don't get to that point.
That's what I was going to say, Tony, but I'm just going to finish the tad bit of that, and thanks for breaking that overtime scenario down for all of our viewers that are currently watching us right now tonight. Let's say that last scenario plays out. Basically, when Tony says the field is frozen at the moment of caution, that means at the last scoring line. So certainly we want to be able to see these guys finish under green flag conditions as we get ready to send them back off here into turn 1.
And if you take a look right now, look who just won the pony. Justin Clapper is going to restart in 3rd on the freshest tires in the top 5.
Oh my God.
Yes. Keep your eye on that 63, as he's got right around a 20-lap advantage on every truck around him. The next truck with fresh tires is going to be starting in 5th. That's Roger DeBold in the 38 on the high side, right behind Clapper.
Yeah, he just won the Mega Millions in esports right now. That is huge.
As the lights are out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck, Anthony Burleson gonna lead us back to green as the pace truck brings him out of turn number 4. Burleson's going to bring him into the TLC restart zone for what we hope is the final restart. Green flag is back out. Burleson pulls the trigger. The 33 gets sideways. Garrett yeets it through the grass. We stay green, though. Burleson right now trying to hold off Clapper and Leahy. Clapper all over the back bumper of the 79. Fresher tires. Here we go. 4 wide down the backstretch.
Oh, here he comes thundering, picking up spots as he's going for the lead coming down into turn 1. Oh, little contact there with the 63.
Oh, my goodness.
Justin, we're wrecking behind him. The top 2 only stayed through. The 79 beats it to the line. I don't know.
Jeepers. Oh,
my. We got mayhem everywhere on the racetrack right now. I'll tell you what, the 63 is hot, and he has every right to be hot. From my point of view, only the 79 and the 80 of Scott Formosa made it through that.
Oh my goodness. Let's go back. Let's back that up a little bit more here. Clapper, he's already been hit at that time. Oh my goodness.
I am speechless right now. I knew it was going to get dicey.
Clapper got sent by the 80 of Formosa. And then got used as a pinball. And Stephen Lachinsky catching a piece of that one. The 88 of McCrary.
How could you not catch a piece of that one?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, the 88 is just wrinkled and scraped and baked, sitting there in his pit box.
Well, let's take a look at what Stephen Lachinsky just saw. Or sorry, Nikolai Jardin in the 11. It was a quiet night for that truck up until that point. The 66 looks like it's been through a war. That's Robert Walton. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to overtime, and how many times have we seen something like this unfold on the racetrack, Tony? Playoff racing, everyone's got their game turned to a level 110, green-white checkered restart, one final attempt to win it. Sometimes this is just what happens, but my God, that was a huge chain reaction there.
It absolutely was, as there you see Clapper get yeeted. Truex goes through the grass. Oh my goodness.
Oh, certainly you feel bad for all these drivers tonight that were battling for the win, who were competitive all night long. You know, all the different strategies, the gameplay, you know, the plays that you did before race, during the races, things ensued on the racetrack with your spotter, your crew chief. Out the window right now for a lot of these guys that were up here in contention.
Oh but my goodness. Bo Condon just caught a race truck to the face.
Like a pillar to the face?
No, the whole truck.
Oh my God.
Let's go back and take a look at that again as we're going to go. We're actually going to go on board. All right.
So actually,
back that up.
Happened on the racetrack that my telemetry right now is frozen.
And it will be for a second. Let's take a look from... This is the helmet can we had on Bo Condon in the 25.
All right, so let's go
I'm out of it, and bang! J.D. Woodward goes right through.
Oh, my... javelin.
Oh, my God. That's a thank God this is a simulator moment, folks.
Yep. We've had two of those tonight. The other incident coming onto pit road.
So the lights have gone out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck. Condon going to have the button one more time. Scott Formosa on the fresh shoes, restarting outside row number 1. Burleson going to have the button. He is going to have to make that truck hella wide to hold off all those fresh tires around him, as only he and Chase Leahy are the only two that did not come down under the last caution, or last two cautions, to get fresh shoes put on those trucks, as they had come down back on lap 112. So...
Yep, so here we go again. More gunpowder in the bowl. We're going to pack it down there tight and wad it up again. we get restacked and racked one more time for another attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Are they able to finish the race this time, Tony? Yes or no?
The answer is a definite maybe. But we do need to thank TLC for all your outdoor lighting needs for presenting this restart zone here. Burleson gonna have the button as the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex. Pace truck makes that hard left turn to bail onto pit road. Burleson has the button as he leads them into the TLC restart zone. Jumps on the loud pedal. Leahy goes with him. And that puts Scott Famosa now behind the 8 ball. Proverbially speaking.
Good looking restart up front. Shining the way right now, the 79 of Anthony Burleson, followed by the 34 of Chase Leahy, and knocking on the back door, coming around on the outside goes Scott Formosa, challenging for that second spot. 34 each diving down into the corner, and is able to get that position back for a moment. Think I saw some contact there.
Well, Burleson definitely got into the wall on the backstretch. Those were the sparks that were flying. And Cole Gajdorus looking to steal a podium here tonight. Chase Leahy, Roger DeBold rounding out your top 5. Thomas Aaron up there with them. As there you see the heavily damaged Aaron trying to shoot one up through the middle. As they come out of 3 and 4 for the final time, Scott Famosa gonna steal the win here tonight. Burleson able to hang on for second. Cole Gajdorus rounds out your podium.
How about the 80 vehicle piloted by Scott Formosa tonight? Your winner steals one here in the playoffs. Tony, we were talking about that earlier. A little extra motivation for him. You don't want to talk about me? Well, fine. I'm going to make you talk about me, and I'm going to come home position number 1 tonight. And how about Cole? I'm going to steal your podium. Gajdorus gets one in the 3rd position.
Absolutely. And if you take a look at your top 3, well, let's do this first. Let's take a look at the overall point standings coming into tonight. So, Truex, McConey, DeBold, Aaron, McCrary, Viel, Sharik, Zunk, your top 8. Roger DeBold was your first chase contender to finish tonight, coming home in 4th. Thomas Aaron in 5th, Steven Sharik in 7th, as it was a hellacious night to be in the top 8 in points.
I mean, in fact, outside of your winner tonight, Scott Formosa, who started in the 5th position, your second and 3rd, 4th place finishers all finished outside of the top 10, except for the 93 of except for the 93 of Thomas Aaron, who started in the 6th spot. I can't believe it. Your first chase contending vehicle comes home in P4 tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. But if anybody could do it, it would be Roger DeBold, as he was one of the strongest trucks all season. As we are trying to find, bear with me, folks. There he's hiding. I knew he was hiding in here somewhere. I just couldn't find him. But we are going to reach out now to the driver that played spoiler here tonight. Got eliminated last week at the Lady in Black and just gave a giant middle finger to the rest of the field saying, you guys are lucky I got eliminated last week. Scott Famosa, congratulations on winning here in the Queen City.
I appreciate it, guys. This has been a long time coming. Had to drive a little aggressive tonight, but, paid off.
We saw that on that natural green-white checker before going into overtime. Talk us through what happened as you and Clapper got into it coming off of 4.
Well, you had guys up there with 2 tires, 4 tires, and it's just, it's going to be a disaster when it's like that. And that's what happened. He got caught up on the outside, and I'm hung in behind the 79. He's on 2 tires, and that's we're all going for it. That's all I can say. We're going for the win.
Well, no harm, no foul, but there was a lot of torn up race trucks.
Yeah, it is
And
what it is.
I dare say you're about to be a very popular man in the garage area after this race.
Well, that's fine. I've been caught up in a lot of their stuff this year, so it is what it is. Well, they can talk all they want, but I've been caught up in a lot of their stuff.
You absolutely have, especially last week at the Lady in Black. From the lowest of lows to the highest of highs this week. Scott, we go next week into the Xfinity car, where you've had some really good success this season, but we go to the Pocono Mountains and the Tricky Triangle. What are your thoughts going into next week's race?
One of my favorites. I really, really like Pocono. I like that little tunnel turn. I've had some good runs there in the past. I'm looking forward to it.
You've had some strong runs all season long in the Xfinity car. But, Scott, we're going to let you go celebrate this victory and hopefully, everybody's not too harsh on you. But that was just one of them racing deals. That's the way we saw it up here. You were racing hard for the win and were able to pull it off. Who do you need to thank for tonight's victory?
First off, I got to thank my car owner, Alan Marshall. He believed in me to put me in this truck. He called me back in the winter. He said, "Man, I want you to drive my truck." And when we brought on Mark McCrary over here, and he has really, really done well. I'm really rooting for him to win this championship. I got to thank Donnie Nall at speedprep.net. I got to thank you guys. Y'all do an excellent job. I want to thank Justin Clapper for the league, Justin White for doing what he does. I appreciate all the guys in here. I hope they're not too mad at me tonight, but it is what it is. But we'll see y'all at Pocono.
Scott Famosa, congratulations on the win here tonight at Charlotte. We will see you next week at the Tricky Triangle.
Appreciate it.
And there, Tony, real quick, he mentioned his teammate there, Mark McCrary, who finished inside the top 20 tonight, 19th, mired 5 laps down. Don't know how much of an impact that finish is going to have on his chances to go on and win, but certainly could have been a lot worse for the 88.
It absolutely could have. But, Matt, I believe you've got the man who came up just a little short tonight with you now, Anthony Burleson.
Anthony Burleson, this is Matt Metler up in the booth. You got me.
Thank you, man. Finally, great. It's good to meet you guys. It's first podium this season. This is awesome.
So let me tell you about my night, Anthony. Currently getting ready to walk in a convenience store. I get a call from Tony. "Hey, Matt, you want to call a race with me tonight?" Sure. This is the first opportunity I've had to watch you guys drive on the racetrack, seen all of your names in one session, and my God, did you guys put on a clinic tonight as far as the racing action goes. My voice is hoarse right now. I can barely talk. Tell me about, how was it from your point of view in that racetrack? It seemed like the moment that green flag dropped, that beehive was a buzzing the whole night.
Yeah, it would get a little, iffy in the packs at times. The trucks felt like it'd get a little looser, but luckily, I don't know how I hit it, but my truck would just stay glued to the bottom. So, luckily, I was able to get around most of those packs, and I just tried to save as much as I could, and it paid off here at the end. I wish I'd saved just a little bit more.
No, certainly, you always want to try to save a little bit more, but I mean, looking at the trends of the races and the amount of carnage, certainly, you came out on the other side of the coin by a long shot, coming home P2. What was the tire fall off like out there, especially with all that hard racing going on side by side?
If you stayed on it a good bit, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. They'd fall off pretty quick, but luckily we had some cautions here and there. So we weren't all out there just scrubbing, for 30 laps. So it kind of worked out. Not too bad.
No, great driving tonight. Was really impressed, like you said, with how your truck just was able to maintain the bottom of the racetrack, throughout the course of the run. Congratulations. I certainly had a blast watching you guys compete. And Anthony and Tony, I'm going to be mad at you if you don't call me in here to watch another one of these races before their season's over. They definitely put on a heck of a show. Anthony, anyone you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Cameron Hen Designs. You know, he's been on the truck all through season, and Kubius Tackle also. Give a shout out to them guys. They've been with me for 2 seasons now, so glad to get them, a podium finally.
Oh, certainly. You can't do this without your sponsors and everyone else behind the scenes that makes it possible for you to go out there and strap into that vehicle and compete, especially at the level you competed at tonight. So what's your game plan for next week? I understand you're in a different car and you're going to the Tricky Triangle up there in Pennsylvania.
The same thing we did this week. Just try to save and stay out of trouble, man. That's my main thing. I've been caught up in so much stuff this year, but just try to stay out of trouble.
Well, there you go. Straight from Anthony's mouth. Survive and alive. His game plan moving forward through next week. Congratulations. I hope I get a chance to call one of your races again. You have a great evening, sir.
Thank you. You too.
And rounding out our podium of non-chase contenders, joining us now, Cole Gajdorus. And Cole, not the night you were hoping for, but all things considered, can't be too disappointed coming home on the podium here at Charlotte.
Not at all. I was really hoping it was going to go green there at the end. I was saving fuel, and I figured everyone else in front of me wasn't with the lap times they were running, and I thought I could stretch it and maybe steal one, but unfortunately that caution came out, but I guess in the end it ended up working out.
It absolutely did. Unfortunately no longer in the playoff contention, but what did that mean for you to be eliminated and now come back with a podium and a strong finish?
I mean, it's a bit bittersweet, it's good to run good, get the confidence back up, but, those playoff races, I struggled pretty bad. And I think in the last one I wrecked, so that didn't help my cause at all, but it is what it is. It's good, though, have a good run, get the confidence back up.
Well, we go to a track that, a car anyways, that you've had some success in the past with the Xfinity car, as we go to the Tricky Triangle next week in the picturesque Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania. Your thoughts going into that race next week?
I'm very much dreading it because I am horrible at Pocono, but I'm going to make the most of it and learn as much as I can, be better for next year.
Well, you're definitely in contention for the the best of the rest award, or the best of the rest award as they're calling it, and hopefully getting free entry into the next season. But Cole, you had a strong run. You, for the most part, kept the truck out of trouble tonight. But it had to have been like I'm driving through a minefield with that late race melee coming off of 4.
Absolutely. Some people had damage. Some people, they'd clip the apron and shoot up the track. It was pure chaos. But luckily, I had very minimal damage, and the truck was still driving good. I was able to maneuver my way through there.
And definitely didn't get hit by that dreaded engine hand grenade that cost a lot of drivers spots tonight. But Cole, who do you need to thank before I let you go celebrate the podium with your team and possibly console your brother?
I just need to thank my team and my family, all their help, support.
Absolutely, and we will see you next week at Pocono. Best of luck to you then, sir.
Appreciate it, y'all. Have a good one.
You too, sir. So, Matt, we got another one in the books here tonight. Let me just turn that off. We just heard from Scott Famosa, Anthony Burleson, Cole Gajdorus, Roger DeBold, the first of your chase contenders, coming home in 4th, followed closely by Thomas Aaron, Chase Leahy, Steven Sharik, Vince Burns, Stephen Lachinsky, after heavy damage early and going a lap down, able to finish not only on the lead lap, but inside the top 10. Matt Garrett in the 3, able to recover for 10th. Ryan Harrison, Ryan Truex rounding out your top 12. J.D. Woodward, Seth Gajdorus, and Greg Viel rounding out your top 15, with Tommy Allen Jr. rounding out your lead lap trucks. Robert Walton, Tyler Truex in 17th and 18th come on, work with me here. There it goes. Mark McCrary, Justin Clapper rounding out your top 10, and Clapper probably not going to be a happy camper in the garage area. Nikolai Jardin, Bo Condon, Greg McConey, Ryan Zunk, and Bobby Grant rounding out your top 25. Alan Marshall and David Hall rounding out your field of 27 here tonight at Charlotte. But Matt, your takeaway from tonight, being as this was your first time to experience what is the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series.
From my perspective, the ThunderClap is every bit of the name. They were thunderous out there tonight. My main takeaway tonight was expect the unexpected. You know, I would have thought coming into this race, just hearing you talk about and touch on the fact that it was a playoff race, so much at stake, so much on the line. I thought these guys may have been a little more settled near the start, but that wasn't the case. Certainly so many of these drivers tonight, their finish wasn't indicative of how well they performed on the racetrack. Certainly the Truex boys, for example. But my God, what an entertaining race. So much fun up here in the booth. Thanks for calling me in on this. And I meant what I said. If you don't call me back in to call one more of these races before they finish up, I'm going to be agitated, because the level of competition tonight was absolutely through the roof. Even down to the overtime down near the end of the race, just when I thought it couldn't intensify anymore, it certainly did. But how about these non-chase drivers, if you will, basically screaming, hey, I'm still here, don't forget about me. And these guys rose to the top when it mattered.
They absolutely did. And, you know, we were talking about Scott Formosa, did get eliminated last week at Darlington, and just proved tonight why everybody that made the round of 8 is lucky that he got eliminated at Darlington, because he had one of the trucks to beat from the word go here tonight. +4 from where he started. Anthony Burleson using pit strategy to perfection. Your biggest mover of the race is the 79, Cole Gajdorus. You know, there was one of the best runs we've seen out of the 89 in a couple of weeks. But Roger DeBold able to rebound, Thomas Aaron able to rebound. And it's gonna be interesting to see what happens next week at Pocono. You're definitely going to want to tune in for that one, folks. So hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of action next week as the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing Series goes to the Tricky Triangle in the Xfinity car for race number 2 of the round of 8.
See, that's the other thing that you touched on that really draws me to the series. You know, not only are we going from a typical cookie cutter racetrack, we're going to a track that only has 3 turns. That's three times as wide. And on top of it, it's going to be in a completely different style of vehicle, correct? It's going to be in the Xfinity car.
And that's what this series has done since Daytona. They've rotated between the next-gen car, the Xfinity car, and the truck. And we've only got 2 races left in this round of 8. The Xfinity race next week at Pocono, the next-gen race at Nashville Super Speedway, and then we go into the championship round of 4 at Texas. Who's going to be the top 4? You're going to have to tune in for the next couple of weeks to find out who's going to make it into the round of 4. And then when we go to Texas, all bets are off. And, you know, not only do you have those top 4 in points racing for a championship, you have the rest of the field racing for 5th place in points, because whoever comes home 5th place in points, in other words, didn't make that championship round of 4, as they're going to get their points reset to what they would have been if they hadn't made the chase at all. And they're racing for the best of the rest and getting a free entry into season number 2 of the ThunderClap Stock Car iRacing series. But that is going to about do it for us tonight. Matt Metler, thank you so much for joining me in the broadcast booth. This is Tony Trapasso reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life this week and until we meet again, whatever you do, don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.